Hi all, Wendy here from Harmonizing Energy. This is my second video in the water series. In this one, I'm going to talk to you about Dr. Emoto. Dr. Emoto, spelled that's not how it's spelled. It's spelled E-M-O-T-O. He was a Japanese doctor. He has passed now, but it's easy to find information on him on the web. He also has a book, and there's a lot of YouTube videos on him also. But what he did with water was he studied water, and he studied the crystals in water once you freeze water, and he looked at the crystals. He started off, from what I understand, and I'm going to read this really quick, in the Hado, doing Hado. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. It's H-A-D-O. It's a Japanese belief, one of a Japanese tradition or part of their culture. Anyways, what it stands for, what it means is that everything has its own attitude or aura, and this affects the things around it. So what he started doing after a while, he got interested in water and how that affects everything else, because water is in us. We drink water. Water is most of what the planet is made of. Water is in all of our food, in all of our vegetables, and pretty much most of it, right? So he decided to do studies on water. And what he did was he decided to start looking at water in different areas of Japan and seeing how to improve it. So he took water samples from different areas and he froze the water, and he saw what the crystals looked like. And some of the crystals, water crystals from certain areas, they looked, I guess where the water was polluted, they looked kind of deformed. They didn't really have a nice structure to them. They looked kind of sick. In other places where there were fresh water and there were waterfalls way out in nature, he looked at the crystals in those, and they were beautiful, beautiful crystals. They had a certain symmetry, like a snowflake. They were just beautiful. And so then he started thinking about, well, all right, is there a way that we can, as people, can change those crystals? Is it possible? So what he started doing is he started taking water, and he would put them in different cups, and the same water, and then he would do experiments on them, like tell them, I love you, or thank you, by either talking to them, but most of the time he would put a piece of paper that he wrote on and tape it to that specific jar or whatever. And then some of the samples, he would say really negative things to them. He also did experiments on water using music, like playing Mozart and Bach to certain water samples, and other ones he played really crappy music that told the water that it hated it. It had really negative words in the music. So what he found is that once he did positive things to the water samples, he froze that specific water, and he found that the crystals were so beautiful. And of course, what you can almost guess what happened with the negative ones. They were nasty, ugly water crystals. And so that's what his experiments were. So then he thought, wow, if we can do that with water and make these beautiful crystal structures, what can we do to the water that's inside of us, if you think about it, or the water that's in rivers and streams, or polluted water? Is it possible for us as humans to change that water ourselves? And he would do a water project, and that water project, and there's people that still follow him and that do this today, where they will go to certain areas and pray over the water and help the water. But let's think about other things. Let's think about the water that we drink, the water that we put inside of our bodies. Is it possible to tell our water thank you? Is it possible to tell our water, I love you? And if you don't want to tell your water out loud, can you actually just put right on your bottle, thank you? Or tape a piece of paper to it and then improve that crystalline structure as you drink it, putting that beautiful, beautiful water into your body. Is that something that is possible? I think it is. Is it possible that if we put water into our body that has a beautiful crystalline structure, which I believe is a higher vibration, is it possible for that water to talk to the other water that's inside of us that I just mentioned in my last video about how much water makes up the body, to talk to that water that's already in our body? Is that possible? Think about it. I believe it is. Is it possible to structure the water in our body ourselves, not just by drinking healthy water, by drinking the water that we structure by saying I love you or thank you? Or is it also possible by telling your body thank you? How about thanking your body at the end of every day after it's done very, very hard work for us, after our legs and our feet have supported us, after our skin from the day has protected us, after all the organs have done their work and are still doing their work? Is it possible to look in the mirror after you've taken your shower or before or whatever and tell your body thank you and structure the water that way in your body? Is it possible that maybe when you wake up in the morning to tell your body thank you for everything you've done for me, and keep structuring the water that way? I think it might be. And then also, how easy is it? Is it easy? Yeah, it really, really is. It's just a way to change the way our mind thinks, and just change our lifestyle just a teeny bit to add those I thank you and I love you. I mean, how many times do we say that to other people? Thank you, but we don't say it to ourselves. We need to honor ourselves. And I think there's a lot of things that we can do to accomplish that. So remember, it's really easy, and it's always the easy things that make the biggest difference in our lives. Also, let me go back to Dr. Emoto. He also tested tap water, and when he tested tap water, there really wasn't much of a crystalline structure in there. So if you think about that, there's not much of a crystalline structure in tap water. Think about why. Why is that? Can we improve our tap water ourselves by saying thank you before we drink it? Yeah, we can. And also, what about food? Food. I talked about food, that food has a lot of water in it. I guess some people pray over their food, and that's sort of a thank you. Yeah, I consider that sort of a thank you. They thank their food before they eat it, before they put it in their bodies to give them nourishment. Does that make their food more nourishing, more vital? It might be. It might. It just all depends on what you believe, what you think. But I hope this video has given you some things to think about, and some things to question. And like I said, it's really easy to go and look for Dr. Emoto's work. It's all over the place. So if that's something you want to study or want to look into, go ahead, do it. It's not difficult to understand. It's really easy. So yeah. And then today I'm outside. I don't know if you can even hear the fountain or see the fountain. The fountain's on. And I'm in Las Vegas. And it's like 11 o'clock. And it's not too hot yet, but I'm in the shade because I wanted to do the video outside for you today. So thank you so much for watching my video. I really appreciate it. I'm going to have at least one more video in this water series. But I hope, again, I hope I gave you something to think about, something to ponder. And Yeah, just say thank you. If you don't say it to your water that you drink, say it to yourself because you're saying it to the water that's inside of you. Thank you. You've done a lot of work today. Thank you. All right, Wendy from Harmonizing Energy. Bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, if you have someone that you think could benefit from this video, share. Remember, sharing is caring. Well, I mean, not always. All right, later.